Jonesy. G'day, folks. How are we doing today?
Yes, we're doing fine. G'day, Sean.
Le- How are we, man? Got a couple of people in the chat. We've got Peterson Farms of Nashville. G'day, Peterson Farms. How you
That,
doing, buddy?
that's Phil. He's up early, getting ready for work.
Lucky Phil.
He's in
And
uh, he's in uh, Nashville, Indiana, is it, or Indianapolis, or I don't know.
okay,
Indian. It's not Nashville. It's the other Nashville.
it's not Tennessee.
No, it's the other one. I think it's
Um, that's cool. We've got another visitor in here, Stream Elements. G'day, Stream Elements. How you doing? Silly me. Well, have people on board. They will come. So let's get rocking and rolling. Jonesy, we made a decision today that we talk about a couple of things. Um,
yes, not music.
no, not music for a change.
No.
What we decided, folks, was we decided that we were going to have a chat about first of all what's going on here in Queensland with the floods, and second of all, what's the best way to get some runs on the board for your channels. First of all, let me say Peterson is saying that it is Indiana, not Tennessee,
Yeah.
and we've got Quint Nelson. Good morning. About to
Hey,
go to
Quint.
bed.
Good to see you.
Okay, so let's start off. The floods. What's happening there? Bloody river's burst its banks again.
Yeah, well, that's Queensland. Like, they do live in that's our monsoon area. Like, America has down the deep south where all the cyclones sort of come in from what do they call that big bay? Well, we've got the Pacific Ocean that seems to bring them in around the hot air around there in Queensland.
Yeah, well, they do talk a lot of hot air up in Queensland, don't they?
Certainly do. Yes, I've got some friends up there, and my mother lives in Mooloolaba, so she's up that way. Hello, if you're watching the replay. I know you're not watching live, but
Well,
geez,
g'day, Mum.
my cheeks are looking a bit rosy on the old YouTube.
Yeah? You are
Is that?
looking rosy. It's like you got a bit of sun today.
Oh man, it was the hottest day I've had down here on the island for a long time. 33
Wow.
Celsius.
What's normal for the island is what, 25, 27?
Yeah, that's probably the maximum. It's usually around 19 to 22 is usually the pleasantries,
Mm-hmm.
and then in winter your 11s, your lows to 11.
We got
But it's,
DJ Cartoon Universe. Good morning, mate.
hey DJ,
Haven't gone to bed yet, but don't think he will be. Where's DJ?
DJ's down in Florida.
Yeah, there's another interesting place for weather.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy with a interesting channel. He talks about, he's got a disability, but he does it really well and talks about the cartoons, old cartoons, and he brings people in they watch them together, and it's a very interesting channel.
That's cool. Just having a look there who's actually watching us. And we got Clock Family have come on in. Welcome aboard, Clock Family. How you going, Mike? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope this is not too early for you.
It's quite pleasant for us for a change, I tell you.
Well, it is, mate. I mean, at least we can sit down with our stubbies or whatever it is we're drinking and and have a relax instead of trying to keep to everybody else's time schedule.
I used to get up at 5 a.m. and do a live my time, and it was 7-ish over there in Central. I'm not sure what time it would have been.
It must have
But
been winter.
yeah, and that lasted about 3 shows, and I said to the guy, he wanted me to go on before him, and I said,
Yeah.
mate, I just this ain't working. I just can't function sensibly at that time. So
Tell you what, mate, let's swap.
yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what actually this is good for me because this is like our prime time. This is our like Australia, England. England's waking up. Australia's sort of settling down, and you've
Yeah.
got Asia all sort of in their nice sort of prime times as well. Uh,
It's
The
it's
world's
only
a,
those
the world's an
across,
amazing place.
it's only those across in the US that have an issue with the time.
And you know what sort of done my head in today when I was down in Strawn? Strawn's on the middle of the west coast of
Mm.
the island. Is that we're looking at the beach and the ocean and everything down there, and it's actually the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It does your head in, doesn't it? Like
That's
you
crazy.
drive the other side of the island and you got the Pacific.
Hey,
And it's,
just in the chat there, we've got Dale Michelle from Brizzy. G'day, Dale. How you going, buddy? And a couple of people saying g'day to each other, so that's cool. So, um, does the island have one time zone or two?
no, just the one. It, how big is it? It's like driving from uh, Albury Wodonga to Melbourne. What's that, about a 4 hour drive?
Yeah, about that.
It's sort of that sort of distance, maybe a little bit further, get you from the top of the island to the bottom of the island, and then going the other way across the other directions, it's
Yep,
even shorter. Yeah,
yep.
so that sort of gives
So,
you the drive around time, sort of.
oh, Dale's gearing up for the spectrum of the seas. Mate, I hate you. I really do. I'm so freaking jealous. But then all you got to do is just work and make memories. Isn't that awesome? I'm trying to do the same.
Yes, well, it is. It just like living on the water, which we do, and we see the boats come and go,
Yep.
or the cruise ships as well, and the container ships and the cargo vessels and all the little submarine. There's a ship that comes in. It actually is a submarine support ship. You don't realize what it is until you search the name of the ship, and then they tell you it's an
Yep.
Australian Navy ship, and it's a
Yep.
submarine support vessel.
Yep.
And it's just interesting watching them come and go, and they tell you where they've come from and where they're going. Sort of that vessel. They don't tell you that much, but no,
Come and
it's
join you, mate. We would love to come and join you. There's only one small problem. The bank and I don't have an arrangement.
what you
Um,
got to do, mate. Sell up and come over to Tassie. You'll end up pooling some money.
yeah, well, let's hope so. We'll see what happens. Mike is saying that it's 4 a.m. getting ready for work. His next cruise is the Vlogger cruise in 12 days. OMG. That's awesome.
Nice.
Nightbot is in there. Nightbot is saying, check out my other channel. There you go, Jonesy. That's your other channel up
Mm.
there.
Yeah, that's actually I've grabbed a few listeners, a few subscriptions on that channel too since I've joined your show here. We've combined, and
Yep.
yeah, it's been good.
DJ is saying that most of us here in the US don't have a problem with the time. It's just that one guy. No, mate. It's more than just the one guy. You guys do have a problem with the time. Oh yeah, and you've
Yeah.
also got a crazy setup with some of your politicians trying to make your country permanently daylight saving. Who are you trying to kid? Dale is asking whether we're going on the Fantastic Cruise. No, unfortunately, we won't. We're actually doing another cruise with my mum and dad. As you know, Dale, it's not so much the cruise that's the problem, the cost of the cruise, it's the cost of the bloody flights.
Yeah.
So, from our point of view, we'd love to go on the Fantastic Cruise. In fact, we'd love to go on the Fantastic Cruise in November because we believe there's a wedding going on then. But right now, we will just be happy with spending time with mum and dad and taking them on their first cruise in March. So that's going to be great.
Hey, what do you reckon about the special effects on my channel with the? I've got the glitter or the snow flying around the studio.
Yeah,
Have you know? Can you see it?
not right now.
No, it's no, it's not on. It's not on this on what we're seeing each other. But if you go to the YouTube
Did you have it
channel,
on Sunday?
no, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It makes me look like I'm a celebrity with all this confetti flying around me.
Yeah, but Jonesy, we know you're a celebrity anyway.
And I've got these little confetti machines actually that I've got laser lights and shows, and I've got all sorts of contraptions. Yeah, like you don't want to go. Oh man, it's a mess.
Dale, come and join us, mate. Come and join us. March the 28th till the 31st, going from Melbourne through to Sydney. Come and join us. On the Grand Princess.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I still haven't finished my payment yet because I've got a medical thing on the 28th, I think it is, or the 27th, I'm not sure, of January. Once all that's done and dusted, that, yeah, when I'm footloose and fancy free, hopefully.
Yes, hoping, mate.
Oh, I feel a lot better than I was. Trust me. I was down for the count for a while.
Did they know what it was?
No, I'll know more on that date. So that's the main thing. I'll get that sorted out, and
So you've had the tests.
yes, and I got a call to say it's nothing to stress about, but something is there. But we'll let your specialist talk to you about it. And I couldn't get an appointment with him because of the holiday season. And you know, they basically called me up and said, "Don't stress about it." So,
So you're not stressing, but you are. But
no,
you're not.
oh,
But you are. But you're not.
I'm not really. But I was dizzy all the time and giddy and blowing up, and I couldn't do certain exercises. I couldn't do certain things. So I thought something seriously was wrong.
Yep.
But over the last few weeks, I've been playing loud AC/DC music, playing the drums, having a great time. Just let all my shenanigans out, and I feel good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've had an interesting weekend. On Saturday, my dad ended up back in hospital again, and he's been there for the week. His issue is he's got fluid on the lungs, so they've had to try and drain out the fluids. So, yeah, it sucks when you get old.
It does, and when you get to, when you get to our sort of age group, you're trying to work out how much you're going to enjoy the next 20.
Correct.
And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to hang on for how many more years after that. So that's sort of like your strategy.
Yep.
And like the next 20 are going to be a good 20 because I've really...
G'day, Sheena. How are you? Nice to have you on board.
Welcome in, Sheena. She's absolutely... Talking about celebrities, she's a celebrity.
Now, yes, she is a celebrity. She knows everybody.
She does, which is awesome. Thank you, Sheena.
Yep. And by the way, folks, Jonesy's running his Nightbot. Do yourselves a favour. If you go down to Jonesy's channel, It's Radio Jonesy. All you got to do is just type in radio, and your channel details will come up, so
Yep.
everybody can have a go and check you out.
Yep. Thank you.
Sheena
Yeah.
just reckons she's just blessed.
Oh, she is. She's a special. Like, it's an interesting social media place, YouTube, because YouTube has got so diversity. There's you want it, it's there. You know, you can
Yep.
find anything. You know, and it's just great to meet absolutely lovely people. Like, there's so many pretenders and wannabes and tryhards. They're everywhere. They're usually on Twitter and Facebook. I usually
Yep.
suggest, but this site, you've really got to put yourself out there. So once you put yourself out there into the forum, people either love you or leave you. So,
Yeah, agreed.
you know,
Agreed.
it's but and I don't know if you want to talk about how they're changing a few things.
Yeah, I believe there are some changes, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's they're they're cutting down on obviously language.
Yep.
Well, they're not cutting down on it. No, they're demonetizing your ability to monetize your channel. If there's any swearing in the first, I think it's 8 minutes, and you can't say this and you can't say that. There's all these words now that instantly get you demonetized.
Yep.
So there's a lot of comedians that are really upset with that, because half of their jokes are now they really can't tell them, because
Yep.
they can tell them, but it's going to cost them in the long run.
That's
So
right.
everyone's channels are changing. Oh,
G'day,
there we
fishing
go.
musician.
Got some cranes flying across the backyard there. I
Oh,
don't know if
that's
you could
cool.
hear them.
Can't hear
Yeah.
much from your side of the world.
Yeah, I got a good mic. See, you bring it close and you can hear it. Yes, yeah, good to see Rich. That's Rich, the Canadian fishing musician. He plays a mean guitar, and he's got
Yeah.
a fishing pole that catches these monster. What are they? Salmon and all sorts of fish.
Big fish.
Like, he'd be very disappointed fishing over here catching a brim down at the
Yep.
jetty, and it's
Yep.
about this big.
Yeah. And then he's got to throw it back.
Oh, yeah.
Sheena is saying can't smoke or drink unless you check the box when minimizing the video.
Yeah, when you upload the video, you've got to say what you're doing. Yeah, it's they're trying to clean certain sections of YouTube up. I'm gathering. Like, well, I'm no expert. I'm one of the new kids in the
block.
classroom here. Yeah, but
Yep.
I'm trying to absorb the information, and like channels like yourself, Sean. Like, you do a show and you talk about cruising, and you're specializing in it. Your videos go up. It's all about the cruising and the charity and all that sort of stuff. So you're specialized in that. So you sort of run down that path, and like, if your videos get shared, it gets shared to the cruising community. Like,
Yep.
whereas someone like a channel that's called Radio Jonesy, people, for one, people wonder, you know, who is it? You know, from outsiders that don't know me.
Yep.
And then they get a mixture and a hodgepodge of all sorts of videos, from ships out the front to kangaroos in the backyard to like down the beach. Always try to add some music in, but yeah.
So Sheena has said it says all those things limits the possibilities of commercials, and then
Yep.
Canadian fishing musician says you can monetize any video as long as you mark the boxes before monetizing.
Yep. what that's about the companies that actually put the ads out there.
Yeah.
They're trying to maximize who their ad gets seen in front of. So
Yep.
if there's obviously, it's just like any sort of marketing. If there's a like beer drinking, carrying on, there'd be sort of ads for that sort of community. If there is an
Yep.
ad for that community, if you know what I mean. But if
Yep.
there was like a younger people, or let's say music, for instance, you'd get music, or you'd get different items for music. You might get some guitar lesson ads or whatever. But yeah, that's the sort of basic. That's a very basic generalization, but I think that's the down and dirts.
So Sheena's saying yes, you can, but they said it could limit the sponsors for that video, and then she went and said they don't support the dirty lifestyle.
They're trying to change, yeah. Like 10 years ago, YouTube was the Wild West.
Yep.
So YouTube, you could basically say anything, do anything, and if you got loads of people watching, YouTube
Yep.
loved you, and they just kept the money. The AdSense would go your way. Whereas I think there was a few of the huge celebrities done a few funky things, and a couple of the ad companies said to YouTube, is what I'm reading,
Yep.
we don't like this with our ads. It's clean it up or get rid of it, or we won't be back, or stuff like that, sort of generalization of a comment.
Yep.
But and so they've been tidying it up level after level. So it's been like the Wild West, and then they've done like this big level here. This is where we're at, and now that level keeps trimming, and it keeps trimming, and they keep adding, the all that stuff that's in the news. Like all the stuff that's in America that's
So
we really don't want to talk about.
very quickly, g'day, Bill. How you going? Bill, just to let you know, I'm currently doing this over EV Mux, and I'm currently broadcasting out on 4 channels. So we're going out to the Downunder Cruisers, we're going out to Helping Hands for Cruising, we're going to Radio Jonesy, and also my Facebook page. So that's just giving you an indication of how versatile this is. And what I've done is I've used, on EV Mux, I've actually used a layered approach, and I've got 3 layers here, one with Jonesy on there, one with myself in there, and one with the background. So just give you an idea of how this all hangs together.
What I might do is change my cameras,
Yeah,
and
go
just
ahead.
to see if that my funky little snow in the studio disappears.
Canadian Fish Musician says, that's the way it's been. It's just YouTube's tightening the chain and following their rules, which is about time. Sheena's is asking you a question, Jonesy. How do you figure what you're worth for a 60-second commercial for a company? They wanted me to put in a bid, a company in New York.
Hang on, I'll have to read that one again. How do you figure what you're worth for a 60-second commercial for a company that they wanted me to put in a bid? Oh, mate, I'm just not too sure about what you've got to quote them what you want. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Man, in the radio game.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just moved my camera around. But
That's
this
right.
definitely fix that problem. And you don't see the mess anymore because, boy, I've got some studio cleaning up to do.
We just see the drums in the back.
Yeah, that's nice. You don't want to see the grounds. There's
No.
cardboard box. Hey, I got a. Oh, sorry, Sheena. Um, radio. They sell blocks of 15. You got to buy, but you got to buy like 4 months or 3 months or yeah. Uh, there could even be 2 month packages. Uh, I just wouldn't like to steer you wrong. You'd have to talk to somebody in your situation that's um, you'd have to
G'day, Val.
ask what's a fair deal.
Um, as um, as Canadian fishing musician said, content only focusing on connecting channels. Wait till you see what's up next for sub to sub channels.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, it's like it's every what you've just got to do is that the rules will come out. If you want to be on the platform and you want AdSense, you got to play by their rules because it's their platform. And I'm pretty sure with this, most people in this room here right now wouldn't have an issue with anything. But I've just got some mates who are comedians and they're really having a hard time. They're thinking of powering over to the other Rumble, but I've been on
Rumble, and
Rumble
also there's another one that I saw, Float Plane.
well, I've been on Rumble for a long time, and it really, I've probably made more money on Rumble than I have here, but I've got less connections with people. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Here, it's more personal. I'm quite enjoying my time here at the moment. I've got 3 channels running, and I've got another channel that's up and not public yet. So, yeah, I'm just trying a few things. Just planning for my retirement. Give me something
Canadian
to
fishing musician. We're keeping this small time for the moment. Jonesy and I just chatting about what's going on in Down Under. Happy for you to listen in. Happy for you to comment in the chat. But unfortunately, we're not bringing anybody else up on panel.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Rich. Yeah, we might tie something in one day, Rich. And I've actually sent him a mail call, so I've sent him some stuff over. I think he wants to open it up. He hasn't opened it up. He wants to do it on a live. But
Yep.
mate, we'll sort that
happy
out.
to do that at some point. Yep. We've got GUO Share. G'day, Radio.
Yes, from Japan. Welcome in. Sean, you better come over on my channel and drop your link.
Yeah, better. I've got to find a nice spot where I can do it now, because I've got one set open with the analytics, so that we can talk about it shortly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. Well, like I had a meltdown. We had a blackout here the other day, and it fried 2 of my computers.
Really?
It's
How come you had a blackout? What happened?
I don't know. But I've got a laptop here that's probably as old as the Ark.
Yep.
And it's still pumping it out. I've got with two monitors connected to that one. A lovely desk. A lot of mess on my desk. It's the old bright TV that's connected to this little laptop.
I've
and
come
all my
to the
hard drives.
conclusion. I've come to the conclusion, Jonesy, that if you've got mess on your desk, it looks like you're actually working.
Well, I'm a very hard worker. Let me just say that then.
Hang on a second. Let me just come in here.
Because it's very messy.
Canadian fishing musician is, I'm coming close to switching platforms. So which platform are you looking to look at?
Yeah, that's interesting. There's another comment further down saying, "Have a great chat." It's very late over there, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's in Canada, obviously.
We don't complain about the Canadians. They good blokes.
Oh, they that's right. They're part of the Commonwealth.
That's right. Um, have a great night's sleep. I hope your day tomorrow is a brilliant one. Or if you're off to work, have a great day.
Oh, look at that. Phil Peterson's. I'm heading to Japan next week.
Oh
Lucky
yeah.
you.
Some people are lucky.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just
no,
trying to catch up.
it's a great place. My kids have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dear old dad wasn't invited. But
Bloody dead again.
yeah, doesn't we? Who wants their dad tagging around with them on a holiday?
Correct. The channel should actually say the Downunder Cruisers, but for some reason it still gives us the YouTube original.
Okay.
Peterson is saying heading to Japan. Next week
Yep.
is close. And of course, Sheena's saying awesome to Phil. So let's get back on talking about these, about what YouTube is doing
YouTube.
in terms of, yeah. So we were going to talk about reading the analytics. Do you know how to read them? Oh, I've got no idea how to read them properly.
Well, the man that is the Rich on the Canadian fishing musician. That's his specialty. He loves the numbers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What I do, when I go to my analytics, I'll go into the studio,
Yep.
and when you go into your YouTube studio, which would be nice.
G'day, Twin Brooks Acres.
Yeah, the thing that I look at for a
Cheers,
growing
Mark.
channel,
Yep.
and you're trying to get the elusive 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers,
Yep.
is that when you get into your studio, you go to the left, and there's a whole bunch of like the dashboard, the contents, the analytics, the comments, the subtitles, the copyright, and then it says earn. Or
Yep.
if you still got the old style, it says monetization. But
Yep.
if you click the earn, up pops current monetization statistics, and you scroll down,
Yep.
and there's two or three lines. They give you the to reach your requirements. It tells you the top line. Mine is blue. It tells you, like, I'm at 409 subscribers, and then it tells you your current watch hours in the last year,
Yep.
and I'm at 1533. So I'm sort of plodding along pretty good.
Yep.
And there's a new line there now that says I've got 17,000 shorts out, but I need 10 million of them to get them in 90 days, which is not for me.
Impossible.
Well, professional, well, the people that do it professionally, yeah, I reckon that wouldn't be that hard, to be honest.
Yeah,
But that, you know,
but then again, they're doing YouTube professionally.
I'll tell you one thing: the monetization for shorts. This is how it works. The ad's going to come on after 6 ads. The ad will come on, or 2 ads, after 6 shorts. So that ad, your money gets shared between the 6 people, plus the ones that have music in their shorts is shared as well with the copyright owners of the music. So the 6
No.
that fraction
So
of a
there's 7
cent.
people basically.
Well, but if everyone's got music, you're looking at 12.
12. Yeah.
You
Yep.
divide, like if everyone's got music, that's fraction of a cent's going to 12 different people.
Canadian fishing musician is saying he's been monetized for over a year now. He might think he might know a thing or two.
He's a good guy. I've known him for a while. Yeah.
Um, Sheena's saying she went to Social Blade. That's where companies look at your information.
Right.
A couple of people saying g'day, g'day.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just flicking through.
it's an interesting, like, if you, some people start a channel and it just explodes. They become popular in whatever they've got, and it looks easy, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of hard work in it.
Of course, I mean it's like, you treat it like a business. It is a business. You're going to make the money out of it.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, I'm just reading the chat. The latest one there from Canadian. I'm sort of jumping ahead,
Yeah, you are.
but it's it.
I'm just trying to get
Yeah,
everybody to see what's going on.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, the shorts.
Canadians
What I
saying
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I predict the community post was coming to all people on YouTube. Um, just want to stay home. Okay. Yeah. Well, somebody's saying that. Who was it? Japan is full of corona right now.
Oh
Um,
wow.
YouTube. So Canadian fishing musician YouTube short being monetized is a joke. Wait till you see how much their percentage take is. Plus, you can't monetize any short with copyright music.
Yeah, well, they said they can now, Rich. They're saying the short will be shared with the musician. So they're now saying with the six ads that run, the six shorts that run, the ones with music share it as well with the. It's not. It's not just the one, but it's the block. So if you do one with no music and the rest of them have got music, the five of them. This is the way I've been told. The five of them, the music royalties go there, plus the
Yep.
six people get their share as well. So it's going to be a fraction of a fraction. But anyway, it's I wonder if that will stop people watching shorts.
Well,
I,
you know
I,
what? There was the time when shorts actually reared their head, and then what we had was YouTube going, well, your shorts don't count, so people stopped creating them. But I think, to be quite honest, I think there will be a place for shorts, um, especially when considering they're fighting against TikTok. But then YouTube can't be the
yeah.
same. It can't be everything to everybody, you know.
No, well, that's right, but it's well, I'd still suggest it is a video platform. Everyone making their videos, it's like after I leave here, for instance, tonight,
Mm.
I've done all my work. I've got my radio show done all, for the next couple of days. So now I'll go inside. I'll pick the dog up out of his little cradle that he's in, and
Hmm.
I'll nurse him like a little baby and watch YouTube. I'll just sit there flicking through the videos, and that's basically how I'll spend the next couple of hours tonight after we leave here.
So Peterson Farms is saying that he'll just film all the chores and projects around the place, and his wife's the producer of the channel, so she'll tell him go and do all the work, right?
Yes, Phil, mate, you do all the chores anyway. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen the Mike Kubota video that he put out, he's got a tractor that's called a Kubota,
Yep.
and he done the My Sharona um, song as my Kubota, and it's hilarious. It's lovely. It's way back when, but it's one of my favorites.
Um, Canadian fishing musician says shared revenue 40%, YouTube takes 25% is shared with the copyright holder. And then he says leaving a 25% profit, if not less, for the YouTube user. they do the same thing when I play a cover song on my channel.
Yep. Yeah, well, Rich is right into it and he's a muso, so he'd be studying the form there for
Yeah.
sure. I've been talking to a few people that go out and film major bands, and they put
Yep.
their videos up that get they're monetized, and they're telling me it's worth their while to go and travel and see the bands and film these major bands. Certain bands you're not allowed to. They've told YouTube we don't want our content being up there. So,
Hmm.
but for instance, like Kiss, I've got a mate who's filmed Kiss in America,
Yep.
Australia, and in Asia, and he's made some good money out of it. It's interesting just the way he does it, and he's just sitting in the chair in the crowd. He picks his seat where he gets a good view of the big screens
Mm.
and the people, and he just gets good audio and films a bit of the screen, a bit of the people, and puts it out, and like 300,000 views later.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, that sounds like a great way to retire if you can get a little bit of money by filming
Yeah.
bands and going on a bit of a trip. That sounds like my perfect retirement.
Well, I mean, I look at guys like Tony from Lolita Loca and Don from Don's Family Travels. And those guys are full-time YouTubers. So Tony makes as much money now doing YouTube as he did when he was working. And the reason for that is because he's out there putting content out for the cruising community and he's doing something every day. And that really becomes a big thing, I think. G'day, you
Yeah,
guys.
well,
Australian leaders rank as the worst in the world right now. You're run by. Oh, really? I think you're going to go.
who was that?
I have no idea, but I don't know whether it's your channel or mine.
I can't see anything here.
I'll never look on mine.
But anyway, it is what it is. The cruise, and as well as the cruising, like I feel sorry for people like today, for instance, the cruise ship coming into Tasmania.
Yep.
They've left either Melbourne or I'm assuming Melbourne. They've sailed across overnight, and in the morning the winds here were horrendous.
Yep.
And yeah, the winds here were horrendous, and it was the tugboats couldn't control it, so they basically said they tried to get him in, and then they said no, it's just too dangerous. The winds were just blowing him around like a sailboat, and they said to him, "On your way, son," and off they go sailing again. So I just feel sorry for the businesses that had all the bookings, like the winery tours and the people going to see all the sites. Not to mention the businesses in town. Like on, was it Sunday or it might have been Saturday? One of the cruise ships come in,
Yep.
and it was a stinking hot day. It was the one with the Swedish name or the Nordic name.
Viking, one of the Viking ones.
Yeah, he's come in, and it looks a lovely, sleek cruise ship. Loads of people got off, and a mate of mine works down on the shuttle. So
Yep.
because it's a working dock, they can
Yep.
only get off onto the bus, and the bus drives them off to the town. And there's
Yep.
like a area in town that shuttles them to wherever they're going to go to.
Yep.
But it was that hot. Most of the people decided to spend the day on the Burnie Beach, and the restaurant down there was just absolutely chock-a-block. And everyone down in town was saying it was awesome seeing. There was Canadians, English, Americans. It wasn't just Sydney-siders or people from South Australia or Melbourne. It was people from all over the world were sitting on the golden sands of Burnie Beach,
Wow.
having dinner at the surf club.
View.
I'll tell you what, today, g'day back crazy. Thanks for coming in. Today, for instance, we went down the beach. First thing we done when I got home is the missus and the dog, and we go down the beach. But it's the lifesavers. They kick the lifesavers training day,
Oh,
so
yes.
everybody gets moved out of the flags. Come down. Everyone gets told out of the water because they bring all this. Like they have about 50 surf skis, and they're having their practice races and their training and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So the other areas you can go and yeah, thanks back crazy. Yep, and thanks Sheena. And enjoy your work. But yeah, so if I did want to go for a dip, I had to sort of do it in an area that wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was funny. Like it was awesome to watch actually, and the dog likes walking around the beach down there, and it's good to get the cobwebs out of your hair after a sort of a hot day.
G'day, Jason. It's always nice to be able to go on the water and just get the cool breeze from the water after such a warm day.
Well, it's an easterly blowing to this afternoon, and we get
Yep.
you know when you smell when you drive to the beach and you smell that salt air.
Yep.
Well, that's all through our house. Like that's the easterlies blowing in, and the missus closes the window. She says, "Oh, bloody salt air's coming in again." I said, "I quite like it."
Yes.
But anyway,
So long as it doesn't destroy everything.
well, it does. Yes. You got to sort of keep your paint up on your cars. I can tell you that.
Yep. You guys, is it salty around where you are in Burnie? Do you get much of the salt air?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
So you'd be the
I
same
like it.
as you'd be the same as Sydney with the worry about the rust and so forth.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah, but well, yeah, for sure. I've got um, I've got an old house. I suppose it's timber for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's not. There's some. Yeah, I'm just looking around now. Yeah, there's a timber fence with a little bit of a. Oh no, I've got steel fence on one side. Yeah, no, it's. Well, I won't be doing the guttering when that goes. I can tell you that.
No, you don't. Uh,
Way too high for me.
yep. I'd rather the professional did it.
Oh yeah.
See you later, Peterson. Have a great day at work.
Yeah. Thanks, Phil.
You
He's a
got
good chat.
your Radio Jonesy's big U property. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you, GU. Um, Japan's a lovely place too. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's one of the
and like,
places we want to go to at some point.
oh man, it's like New York on steroids with all the lights. Like
Yep.
that's basically what my kids were telling me. They're saying, "Oh, Dad, it's just unbelievable. It's like you go out at night and it's just like New York on steroids." Is basically the comment that stuck in my head when they come home. And they went over there for a anime conference.
Oh wow.
All that stuff. They go to
Yep.
Melbourne. They go to Sydney. They go all that. They're in like my daughter's into computer animation and stuff like that. She's got a degree in that stuff, and she was trying to get work in either the gaming sector or the cartoon sort of sector, and she's had no luck over yet. But it's still in her. She's a doer, so with any luck, things sort of. If you work hard at some things, it usually works out.
Yep.
Yeah, Japan, lovely place.
Um, let's see.
Yeah.
Well, chat hasn't moved much. All right, let's go back to these analytics. I was looking at my analytics now. So I'm sitting with 547 subs and 2,287 watch hours.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a
Uh,
few more.
all the subs, yeah. All you've got to do really is, um, it's all about the communities. The community that you're in,
Mm.
you've probably maxed out. And there's a drib and a drab here and a person there. It's just a matter of just having a bit of fun with some other communities. People see that you're a cruising guy, and they want to come and have a look, or they don't. But usually, usually people, you know, people want to connect if they enjoy the content. Is probably what I'm
And that's what
saying.
it's all about.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I like gardening, but I don't connect to every single gardening channel that I look at because it'd be crazy. I connect to the good ones that I like to enjoy watching, and every now and again one surprises me. But it's with your analytics too. It's like if you're continually doing cruising, like your video cruises, your live cruise talk, your videos about the cruises, your other live, and it just continually goes down that plot. Well, technically, the system is that if that's your narrative and that's your genre, that's the way the YouTube wants to share or wants to see people looking at that content, point them in your
Yep.
direction.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because I read or I seen a video about it from one of these big, from a guy that used to work at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and he was saying
Thank
it's
you,
not.
Sheena.
Yeah, he was
It's not.
saying it's not YouTube sharing your videos.
Yep.
It's your content getting directed people that look for content that you have. And if your content looks like people sit there and watch it for a while, like if you've, the worst thing you can do is put a video out and have 100 people go in there. You get 100 views for what, 15 or 20 seconds. That's
Yep.
the worst thing. That's the worst thing a video can have because YouTube works out at that video is absolutely no good because nobody likes it. Yeah,
Yep.
it's like one of my. I was looking at the analytics on the beach video. It runs for an hour, and I've got 33% of the people that watched that video stayed for the hour. 33%. So that's amazing for me. I think that's because that just shows you a lot of people click it, have a quick look, and go, "No, it's not for me."
Yeah,
It
and then
comes up
move
as a
on.
view, yeah, yeah. But it's the ones who like it just shows you there's a solid bunch that will sit there for whatever reason and watch the whole lot. So yeah, the all the information is in the analytics for your. It can tell you when your listeners or your viewers the exact time for that video. It'll tell you when it went, chunk, and then it'll show you a spike, and then you can sort of look to see why it spiked. What were you talking
Yep.
about then? And yeah, it's just all that information's there, but you've just got to be a keen numbers guy to be man into it. It's hard enough doing the videos.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. You got to
get it.
work on, but then again, treat it like a business, and it will be. It will do the right things.
Well, it's a wonderful platform where look we've got a few people spending their time with us, um, having a chat about all. We got a cruising guy, a music radio guy, and we're talking about YouTube analytics. But that's just for today. Like we could be talking about all the crazy stuff that's going on in Australia at the moment with the floods up in Queensland. They're getting plenty of rain.
G'day, Nick.
New South Wales is drying out a bit at the moment. They've had a lot of interior rain.
Isn't that funny? Queensland gets all the rain. New South Wales gets all the drought. I think that's funny.
Yeah. Well, they got flooded like Lismore and Remember, that wasn't that long back.
No, it wasn't. G'day, Ned's blog.
Them Northern Rivers, yeah. Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
very much.
Yeah, there's some great people, and there's some great people that will support you. Like, you know, as you know, you put some good content out, people will support you. They'll keep coming back to, as long as your content stays the same or gets or improves. Like
Take
I'm
it
just
easy.
looking at
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat now and thinking, look at all these nice people wanting to spend
Well-
some time with me and you having a chat.
You know what? You know what I find amazing. If it wasn't for this YouTube, I wouldn't have the friends I have. I mean, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met some of the people I know in the US. You know, it just really makes. I wouldn't have met people like Nick P and the clocks and so on and so forth. So it certainly makes a difference, you know.
And it's a great, and what the beauty of YouTube, especially when you put yourself forward on videos and lives, is that people actually see the person.
Yep.
You know what I mean, and they get to decide whether that person's right for them.
That's right.
You know, like I've seen some videos where I thought, oh, this is a nice channel, and then you sort of, I don't know, for one reason or another, you go, well, I don't really enjoy my time here, so I'm moving on. But
yeah,
you get to know the real, like
the real person.
Look at there. You got Net's vlog. She's come in.
Yep.
You've got Sheena. Like Sheena doesn't sleep.
No, she never sleeps. She's on all the time, I can see. Nick is saying California is getting pounded by rain. Up here in the Midwest in the US this winter, we've had one of the heaviest snowfalls we've had in a long time. Don't know what snowfalls are like, do we?
They need water and snow up there because they usually have crazy bushfires in summer.
Yep. Well, then in many cases they're not a lot different to northern Victoria and New South Wales, I don't think.
We had a major fire down here last week.
You did last week?
Yeah. It was on the west coast, down at it's halfway between where Burnie and if you're going to Queenstown, what's that bloody town called? A pokey little mining town with about 300 people that live there.
The diamond mine.
No. I don't know if there is diamond mines.
Got stuck down the bottom of the shaft about 10 years ago.
Oh wow!
Do you remember that?
Pleasant. Oh, that wasn't a diamond mine. That was a coal mine.
Coal mine.
That was. Well, that's the other direction from where I am. But yeah. Oh man, what are their names?
It's near Devonport, isn't it?
Down that way, yes. Down around.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. Oh man, I should know. Google it. That'll tell you. Or I'll go DuckDuckGo it. Yeah. That was a mining disaster, yeah.
It was. Warrior Princess Gaming, no message. But you're here. Anyway, at any rate.
Yep.
Only good things should be happening with us. Jonesy, what have you got up for this week?
Well, I got a care package actually from Devil Dog. I had to. It was for whatever reason. Yeah, Beaconsfield. I should have remembered
Beaconsfield, that's right.
2006.
Yep.
On of all days, the 25th of April. Yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
I thought it was getting close. Twin Brooks, mate, thank you very much for coming in. Enjoy Dreamland. Please give us a full report on what the inside of your eyelids are saying.
that's a nice one. That's a good comment. Yeah, but
Thank you for that, Princess. Thank you so much.
yeah, I drove past that bushfire like it was a week ago, and still burnt out all this land, and a couple of mining buildings got taken out.
Yep.
But the greenery, because of the warm weather and the rain, the greenery's just exploded back, and
Racing back. Isn't that amazing?
it looks great. Actually, it looks all the ground cover now is like land. It looks like grass, whereas before it was like blackberries and yeah, all the sort of stuff that you see on the ground. That's crazy stuff. And you know what? And today, unfortunately, today I seen another Tasmanian devil with a hit and run, like he was roadkill, poor little bugger. Yeah, I seen today. Like I drove 2.5 hours. I reckon I seen 50 kangaroos, a couple of wombats, one devil, and a couple of snakes in my little trek. I reckon Tasmania's got the biggest roadkill capital of the country.
Do you have any koalas there?
I don't think so, to be honest.
I think Tassie's a bit too cold for koalas.
Yeah, the fur coats aren't good enough. Oh, it's snake season today, Tina. We had a lovely hot day, and where I had to go out to work, they said just be careful of the browns. This is brown country where we were at, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Like I went down this trail and took a few photos of all the little flowers, like the native flowers and things and ferns. Like I'm turning into this big softie. I'm going, oh look at this! This looks beautiful. Let me take a picture. But
hey, it'll end up on YouTube. Be careful.
oh, you know what?
Now,
I had that thought. Like the girls on film, Duran song. You know,
yeah,
Jonesy walking down here and
yeah.
all the pictures.
Sheena was saying, "Yikes, snakes," and then Jason turns around and goes, "Love snakes."
Yeah, I don't like treading on browns, Jason.
Yeah, not browns. You don't want to tread on them. Actually, if it's an adult, you're okay.
Yeah, well, they reckon they'll.
The adults won't
control.
envenomate you. They can control the amount of venom they produce.
So
But then again, it depends on how many times they've warned you.
well, once you tread on them, they get pretty angry.
Yeah, well, oh, that hurts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, it's part of Australia, isn't it, Sean? You can't go anywhere.
It is.
I got a snake bandage in my glove box, so it's probably no good to me if I'm 2 kilometres from the car. But
Correct.
But it's in the car in the glove box anyway. And why is a snake bandage different from a normal bandage?
Because I'll tell you why in a second. Jason says I have to move them from people's homes. Oh, so that's what you do for a living. Okay, so the intention with a snake is when the snake bites, the venom does not go into the bloodstream. The venom goes into the lymphatic system. So the intention with the snake bite bandage is actually to keep the venom in place in the lymphatic system and not to move into the bloodstream. Because if it moves into the bloodstream, you're dead.
Yeah, sure. They reckon 20 minutes.
Correct.
Turn the light on. It's getting dark.
Well, we're dark here. We've had a bit of a thunderstorm, so we're dark. Hey, it's 28 degrees and 56% humidity. When we started the stream, it was around about 98% humidity.
Well, I like I said, it was a hot day here today, like the 33 Celsius. And I've jumped in the shower and I've turned the cold water on, and I thought, oh no, I'll put a bit more warmth to it. And then I'm there going, I'm going, no, I've got to go colder. And I kept going cold, cold, cold. And then I thought, I'm finished. I thought, I'm going to get out. Let's see how cold it really is. And I turned it right off the hot. And I'm a big sook. I went, oh, no, that's way too cold. But it felt good, actually. It was quite a hot day here today.
So, further to your question, the snake bite bandage does not cut off the bloodstream. Because what happens in a lot of cases is you'll have they'll use a bandage and it'll end up becoming a tourniquet over the entire limb, which is not a good thing.
Right.
So that's why the snakebite bandage is there, because it is elastic. It's an elasticized bandage, and that allows blood flow to continue normally, feeding the end of the fingers, but keeping the venom in place, so that you can get them off to a doctor's. Oh, and by the way, if you get bitten by a snake, sit down, shut up, don't move.
Yes. It's pretty hard when you're by yourself, but
I understand.
You're pretty much gone, really, if you're by yourself.
Correct.
Because you got to walk somewhere, or you got to sit there and just yell. Even that gets your...
Impending forecast for darkness, I have been summoned. Oh, good.
The goddamn bacon.
Yep. Jason is saying, Sheena, if you go my videos, you see a baby brown I had to get. That's cool. Jason, are you Aussie or...
Yeah, he's in Sydney.
Oh, he's in Sydney.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He's got a good channel. It's he does all sorts of things around cemeteries, and I used to I lived for a while at Lidcombe, which is close to Rookwood Cemetery.
Yep.
Which is the biggest cemetery in the southern hemisphere, I think. It used to be, anyway.
Used to be.
Yeah. And I had a friend whose dad lived. His dad was the caretaker, and they had a house there in the cemetery. And he used to have pet goannas and frill necks and blue tongues and all sorts of safe snakes. So.
Yep. So, talking about snakes, you know Matt from Fantastic Cruising. He's been on our channel.
Yep.
You go into his place, he's got goannas and snakes and a couple of other things. So he's into that sort of hobby.
Reptiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the odd blue tongue, but that's probably the closest thing to a snake that I want to be hanging around.
No thanks. You can have them. I'm a devout coward.
We lived on the lake up at Lake Macquarie, and the kids were still in primary school, and they've come home and they dropped their luggage. I think I've told this story. They dropped their luggage at the front door, like inside the door, and they come in, they do their thing, and they're having fun. Next minute, now their bag's getting like ruffled and something's sort of moving. And they said, "Dad, something's in the bag." And I said, "Well, what could it be? I better go have a look." And it was a blue-tongued lizard.
Wow.
Yeah, he either snuck under the door and was sort of hanging around their bags for whatever reason. So like a big hero, I've picked him up by the back legs from on top.
Yep.
No, the front legs from on top. But he was still flexible. It was a really hot day. He was still flexible enough to turn around and latch on to this part of my hand, the webbing. And like an idiot, I went, he's bit me, and I've turned my hand like that. So he's hanging downwards and biting extra tight because he doesn't want to let go.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm an idiot. Then there was blood coming down, and imagine two young girls screaming, Dad's been attacked by a lizard. It was quite funny. I went outside and I just laid it on the ground, and he just let go, and off he went. But,
now, it's quite funny when it's happening to somebody else. Well, but when it's happening to you, it's not that funny.
Well, I knew it wasn't going to kill me, so it wasn't
That's true.
life-threatening. It was just a bit of pain, and I've played football enough to know what real pain's like. So it
That's
wasn't
true.
that bad.
Now, was that footy rugby or footy Aussie rules?
No, rugby league.
Oh,
And
mate, at least you've gone up in my estimations. If you would have said Aussie rules, that would have been the end of our relationship. Let me say. No, no, no. I'm just joking. I'm just.
no, well, I've played one season of rugby, and I thought playing breakaway, jumping on a loose ball, and getting rucked wasn't
Your idea
my
of fun.
no.
You
I
try
thought
playing league. Try play union.
I did, but they wanted me to play breakaway for whatever reason, and they just said
Maybe you
when
were
the loose.
fast.
Well, I was back then, believe it or not. But they said, yeah. They said yeah, this is what you got to do, and I'm getting trained. Like I've played soccer and rugby league, and now I'm playing union, and I thought it was fun. The guys I was with was good, and it was it's a good game to play when it's
Yep.
like when it's enjoyable. But when you sort of got like 100-kilo guys walking over your back trying to get the ball that you're trying to protect and feed backwards.
Yep.
And and you come off the field and you have your shower and everyone goes, "Oh, geez, look at your back. You don't. Or look at the side there. You got some good scars today, Jonesy."
Yep.
Oh, yeah, thanks, mate.
Thank you, Sheena. I love the message. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Jonesy, we've
yeah,
been running an hour and nearly 15 minutes. I'm going to call it quits. Um, some of us have work tomorrow. Some of you have
yep.
work today. I want to thank everybody for coming on board. We will be doing our live stream tomorrow. There is the Downunder Cruisers for those that are interested, where I'll
Yep.
be just chewing the fat about cruise ships in town and so forth. And then on Friday night, Eastern Standard Time, for those of you across the pond, we'll be running our standard Downunder Cruisers live stream, and which will equate to 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon our time. Then on Sunday morning at 10:30, you say, Jonesy?
Yeah, Sunday morning, 10:30, I go
Sunday
live, which
morning,
is
10:30 our time is Jonesy's live stream, and so we'll be jumping on there and saying g'day and having a bit of a chat. And we hope you guys will have an awesome what's left of the week, and we shall see you around the traps.
Yep. Thanks everyone for supporting us too. We're just two blokes having a chat about what's going on in Australia.
Have a great day, folks. We'll catch you later.